Today's how to build is on big Lego bricks. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. So several people have asked me to show how to build giant Lego bricks using normal Lego bricks. So I'm going to focus today on the most iconic Lego piece, the 2x4 brick. Show you how to build that at a few different scales. And you can use the same techniques I'm showing today to build other Lego pieces at different scales as well. So we're going to do a lot of multiplication today, so I hope you know your times tables. So we're going to start out with the 2x scale. So since we have a 2x4 brick and we want to make it twice as big, 2 times 2 or 4, and 4 times 2 or 8. So I'm going to start with this 4x8 plate. Now to capture the look of the studs on the top here, the best thing I could find at this scale was a 1x1 round plate combined with a 1x1 round tile. And the only color I had 8 of those was light gray, so that's why I'm working in that color. So now we're going to position those at sort of the intersection of these squares here. So that's a technique you might not know, that you can stick things in the middle like that if they're round. It's a little tricky sometimes, but you'll get the hang of it. So you're going to put 8 of those little contraptions on the top here. So it looks now like the top of that brick. Another way you could do this is if you've got a lot of these 2x2 plates with a stud on the center, you could cover a 4x8 space with 8 of those and then put some studs on top. In brown, I didn't have any round tiles, so I just did the studs. Alright, so now we just need to build this out a little bit. So this is 1 brick tall, so we want this to be 2 bricks tall. It's already 1 plate tall, and we know that there are 3 plates to every brick, so we're going to add 1 layer of brick here, just a bunch of light gray bricks. And the next thing we need is 2 more layers of plate. I chose to use some 1 wide plates and do a little loop around the edge, so it sort of looks like the bottom of a Lego brick there, where you could fit something else in the bottom. That's purely up to you. You could also just fill that in with some more full plates that are 2 wide or 4 wide and have it be a full thick brick. Another thing you could do if you want a 2x scale Lego brick is just use a Duplo brick. Duplo bricks are exactly twice the size of normal Lego bricks, and they're also compatible, so Lego bricks will fit onto the top of Duplo bricks, and Duplo bricks will fit on top of Lego bricks. Just for comparison, this is what the brown one looked like versus my gray one, and there's a Duplo brick. So all the different ways you can do 2x scale Lego bricks. For the 3x scale, we're going to multiply everything by 3. So again, we have a 2x4 brick, so 2 times 3 is 6, and 4 times 3 is 12. So create a 6x12 area full of plate. I'm using some 2x6 plates and a 4x6 plate here to make my area. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make way for the studs here. So we're going to count 1 in from the top and the side there. And then we're going to go along that row every 2 spots and fill in with these 1x1 plates. The color and shape of them doesn't matter, so they could be round, they could be square, they could be yellow, they could be blue. And we're going to do the same thing at the bottom part here. So that's going to be some positioning for our studs. But now we're going to cover the rest of the top with tile to make it nice and smooth. So I've got some nice 1x6 tiles that I'm putting along the edges to help keep it together. Do some 2x2 tiles in these center bits. So this is what the top of your brick should look like right now. All flat with some little bump areas. Now for the studs on the top of this brick, we're going to use 2x2 round plates and 2x2 round tiles. The only color I had 8 of those in was yellow, so that's why I'm building mine in yellow. So you're going to put those together and then stick them on the little plates that you put in position for them. So we're going to do 8 of those. What's really nice about the 3x scale is that this is one scale where you can get it looking really like the top of a Lego brick, where you get the smoothness and the size of the studs relative to the brick is really accurate. It's really nice. Now again, since this is 1 brick tall, we want this to be 3 bricks tall. So we already have something that's 2/3 of 1 brick tall. So we want to add in 2 and 1 more third brick to get to our 3 bricks tall. So I did 2 layers of brick, 1 layer of plate, and I made it open in the center, but you could have it filled in however you have bricks to fill it in. So that is our 3x 2x4 brick. For our 4x scale, again, we're using 2x4 brick as our base, so we're going to multiply that by 4. So 2 will become 8, and 4 will become 16. What I've done here is I've lined up 8 2x8 bricks, so that gets us 8x16. Another option, if you have it, is one of these 8x16 bricks. I had them in green, but I didn't have the round pieces I'm going to use for the studs on the top in green, so I chose red instead, but this is a nice piece if you're building 4-scale Lego bricks. Alright, so for the stud, I'm actually going to use this 2x2 round cylinder. It's maybe a little bit taller than it should be, but I have a bunch of them and it works really nicely. So they're going to connect basically every set of 2 bricks there. That's the top of our Lego brick, and again, since this is 1 tall, we want this to be 4 tall. We've already got 1 layer of brick, so we just need 3 more layers of brick. I did 2 levels that were outlined 2 bricks thick, and the last level I just did 1 brick thick. So what's fun about the 4x scale bricks is if you build them with that sort of just outline of 1 brick around the bottom level, and you build multiple bricks, you can actually start to stack them together kind of like regular Lego bricks, in that they'll fit together where you know, the studs are and the outer layer of that bottom brick, and then it's like you're building with Lego bricks except they're gigantic, which is kind of awesome. So that's like a fun thing you can do at this scale, and it's really the first scale you can do it at. In addition to doing that 2x4 brick, I also went ahead and did a 2x2 slope brick at this scale just for fun. You can see really easily this is just a bunch of 2x8 downward slopes, and then I just built it up with 1 wide bricks all around the edge. At the top here I've just got some more cylinders, and that's a 1x8 and a 2x8 brick at the top. So the 4x scale is a really great scale to work at, really easy to build, and then you've got the nice ability of being able to stack things like real Lego bricks. Woo woo! So we're skipping 5x scale and going right on up to 6x. So again, we have a 2x4 brick, so 2 times 6 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 24. So we're going to do 12 by 24 area. So this is a 2x12 plate, so I've got 3 of those. Then I've got some 6x6 plates, and then a 6x12 plate down at the end. So whatever you can do to fill it all in. And then we're going to cover up a lot of it with tile. So similar to what we did with the 3 scale, we're going to put in some 2x2 plates that are 2 off from one side and 2 off from another, and then skip over every 4. So this is really just double the scale of what we did below. And again, actually the color and shape here doesn't matter since they'll be totally covered up. And then 2 and 2 from the back and the top, and then across every 4. And then we're going to cover the whole thing up with tile, so 2x4 tile, or a 2x2 tile, or whatever 1x tile you've got. It's going to take a lot of tile. So this is what it's going to look like when you've covered it all up with tile. Now we're going to use these 4x4 round bricks. I happen to get a whole bunch of them in a parts draft that I recently did, so I happen to have exactly 8 of them, which is why I chose to do this brick in white. Another thing you could do if you don't have those is use a 2x2 round brick and then 4 of these little macaroni bricks around it. If If you do that, then you're going to need to build some more studs and not cover it all up with tile, so that might actually be easier for some of you. So that's another way you could do it, but I'm going with the all 4x4 round brick approach right now. So just put 8 of those down, centered on those 2x2 tile spots. Two by 2 plate spots, that is. So that's going to be the top of the brick right there. Now again, this is a 6x brick, so we want it to be 6 bricks tall. It's 2/3 of a brick tall right now. So what I found really convenient was using a bunch of these 1x6x5 wall pieces. Pick-a-Brick had a bunch of them a while back, so I loaded up. So I used those in combination with just some of these 1x2x5 wall pieces to build sort of a framework for this brick. So as you can see, I just sort of went around the edge with the wall pieces, and then I have a layer of plate on the bottom to keep it all together. And then I'm just gonna connect my stuff onto the top here, and it'll all hold together pretty nicely. So that is a 6x brick. If you're building multiple of these and want to stack them on top, you should use only a 1 wide plate layer at the bottom so that it would be able to fit around these studs on the top, like we did with the 4 scale bricks. So yeah, that's the 6 scale. That's as far as I went building Lego bricks, but I wanted to show you 2 other cool little things that you might like. So this giant container here is something I purchased at the Container Store. So it's made to look like a Lego brick. It's about 16 times the size of a normal 2x4 brick. You can open it up. It's even got the circles on the bottom so you could stack multiple of them. And you can also open them up so you could use it to store Lego pieces if you wanted. So I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy those on the Container Store. But so if you want to have a really giant Lego brick, that's one way to go. I thought they were pretty cool, so I bought one when I saw them on sale. Fun stuff. The other thing I wanted to show you was going in the other direction to have a tiny Lego piece. Many of you may have never heard of this before, but this brick right here is a Modulex brick. They were made by the Lego company in the 60s. They even say Lego on them. I'll do a close-up shot of it so you can read that. They're about 60% of the size of regular Lego pieces. They were made as a special line for architects. They didn't exist for very long and have been out of date and haven't been made in decades. I had never even heard of them until about 5 years ago when I met some people at a Lego convention who had some and gave me a couple bricks. This is not an off-brand brick like those nano bricks that you can see that are probably about the same size. This is a Lego piece from the 60s. Modulex, tiny little Lego bricks. Cool little piece of Lego history. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments telling me what you want to see me build in the future. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. The way my mother motivated me to learn my times tables was not letting me have my copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 until I had passed the test. Advice to parents out there: withhold video games until your children learn their times tables.